Republicans are being threatened from Pete King and his terrorist hearings in Washington. State Senate Republicans in Wisconsin. And you don't hear a damn thing about it. You do not hear a damn thing, not a word of concern from the hacks. Last night at the state capitol in Madison really had a tough security situation. There wasn't nearly enough security to handle what all was going on. People were getting in the building, not so much being violent, but there is a mob. I mean, we are looking at genuine mobocracy. There's a mob at the Wisconsin Assembly trying to shut down a Democratic government. Nobody gives a damn. Well, when I say nobody, we're not hearing any concern from the people on the left. No concern from the people in the media. And now we're having these hearings in Washington on domestic terrorism after decades of terrorist attacks on American citizens here and around the world by militant Muslims. We're finally having hearings on this. And there's anger that we're having hearings. The anger should be that we haven't done this for decades. And so now Peter King has to have a big-time security detail. I mean, a question, ladies and gentlemen, if we are afraid, and obviously Peter King is not, but some people are, if we are afraid to have congressional hearings on terrorism, haven't the terrorists, in effect, won? I mean, not altogether, but looks this way. I mean, the left is in a total meltdown. They're in a full-fledged one. And guess who's standing on the sidelines? Obama. Obama is on the sidelines. This is typical. You know, you go back to Obamacare. He never had a plan. We kept pointing this out. He never had a plan. This permitted him to say, my plan doesn't say that. Whatever the criticism was. Well, no, that's not in my plan. Well, it's true because he didn't have one. So he promised these people of Wisconsin, he promised the union people that he would put on his walking shoes, his marching shoes, and be out there with them. He's not there. The French, Sarkozy, the French have now officially recognized the Libyan rebels. You know, given some of the pro-American things that Sarkozy has said in the past, maybe France will officially recognize the Tea Party. You remember when all those Tea Parties took over that state capitol and shut it down because they didn't get their way? You don't remember that? You don't remember when the Tea Party ran in there and they had operatives on the inside opening the windows of the Capitol building at night and they stuck in there? Oh, come on. Come on. Don't try to tell me it didn't happen. You don't remember when the Tea Party ramrodded the state capitol and shut it down because they didn't get their way on the budget bill? Well, actually, I don't remember it either. I just thought I would bring it up. But seriously, just as a thought experiment, try to imagine the reaction in the media if the Tea Party was doing what these sore loser union things. You know, I laugh at these people saying, this is not democratic. You have spat upon the Democrat precedent. This is what they're saying up there. This from the crowd that was going to use budget reconciliation to pass Obamacare. This was the crowd that was just going to deem something, whatever it was, to have passed. Yeah, they were just going to deem it to have passed. And they're up there. So this is a legitimate legislative move. The quorum in Wisconsin is necessary for spending bills. They stripped the spending out of this thing. They went back. This is one of the early plans. I mean, go back weeks and weeks ago. This is one of the items of strategery that they had. So I just love this. So somehow the left gets on this big kick that Walker's about to cave yesterday. And the funniest headline is... Democrats scramble to return. From their undisclosed location in Illinois, Democrats scramble to return. Maybe. What good can they do coming back now? But they plan on it. I hope I hope that the students in Wisconsin and across the country answer the call from Michael Moore and the Goonian leaders to walk out of their classrooms at 2 o'clock today. He has made this call. At the very least, it would mean that all those underpaid, overworked teachers can get off at 2 o'clock instead of 3. Who wouldn't take that deal? Probably is a day off for them anyway, some holiday that nobody's ever heard of. Now, Walker just made a statement to the press a half hour ago. It's interesting here to watch all of this transform. I think it's pretty ironic that the bust-in union thugs are trying to prevent the elected representatives in the Wisconsin legislature from doing their work by chanting, "This is what democracy looks like." This is what, meaning their protests, meaning their thuggery. Yeah, shouting down elected representatives, buying off the Democrat Party, subverting and intimidating the elected majority who are doing the work of the people, doing what they were elected to do. That's what these people call democracy. Well, it's exactly the kind of democracy they want anyway, but it's not what most people think of as democracy. This, in fact, ladies and gentlemen, is mobocracy. I really hope that the country takes a good look at what's going on in Wisconsin. I really do. And as I say, imagine if this were the Tea Party doing this. We've got Republicans being threatened. We've got intimidation tactics, thugs and hacks in Wisconsin. A mob shutting down a Democrat government. Imagine if this was the Tea Party. Wisconsin's broke, but that's not a good enough reason for Democrats to cut spending. Democrats have fled the state. The cowards, they ran away. $7.5 million in damage inflicted on the state capitol in Madison. That wasn't enough damage to satisfy the thugs, the vandals, and the trespassers. Democrats all. And the president, our young man-child, Pharaoh Obama. Will he one day have his own pyramid? Regardless. Oh, you know what? You know what I saw in the midst of all this? Not only is he on his sideline, he turned over the bully pulpit in the White House to Moochel today. And you know about what? Bullying. He's got his union thugs organizing for America, bullying everybody, Peter King and everybody up on the domestic terrorism hearings. He's got his bullying thugs going at it in Wisconsin, and here are Obama and Moochel at the White House today, living a statement on bullying. And how horrible it is. It is a terrible thing, Mr. Limbaugh. If you've never been through it, you won't want to go through it yourself. It's a terrible thing. It's intimidating and scary, Mr. Limbaugh, to be bullied. Yeah, I know. Mr. New Castrati. Something, with all that's going on, the Middle East is on fire. We are spending ourselves into abject debt and poverty. And our president's been co-opted by his wife for a ceremony on bullying. That was after the basketball party last night. Now, the president declared that bullying should no longer be treated as a simple staple of growing up. Now, of course, there's a little hypocrisy here because, as we're seeing, bullying is righteous when it's used against for-profit colleges. Bullying is righteous when it is used against oil drillers. Bullying is righteous when it's used against big retail or financial firms. In fact, Obama encouraged the bullying. He told the financial whiz kids, "Hey, I'm the only guy separating you from the people with the pitchforks." In fact, it was Obama who urged his people, "They bring a knife, we bring a gun. I want you to get in their face," Obama said. So it's fine to bully the bondholders at Chrysler, the people who had invested in the Chrysler Corporation via their bonds. Those are the guys that got shafted. Okay, and then blamed for being greedy. So let's bully them. We can also bully the internet providers. We can bully the Tea Party. Wheelchair-bound African-American members of the Tea Party. Not only bully them, we can beat them up. We can bully little old ladies. We can bully state legislators. We can take union thugs and bully an entire state capitol building. And yet here's the president and his wife saying no child should ever have to be subjected to bullying, should no longer be treated as a staple of growing.